And we're good to go.
Thank you. Welcome everyone to the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley Public Planning meeting on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023, in council chambers and by Zoom. The applicant is Raditz Logging. Being 5:25 p.m., this meeting held by council under Section 34 of the Planning Act is now called to order. Could I get an approval of the public meeting minutes from December 20th, 2022, please? Moved by Brent. Any errors or omissions? Yeah, Tracy.
Hi, sorry, it's noted that I wasn't there, but I actually was at that meeting. I had internet Wi-Fi issues in the beginning.
Right, you came on by your phone.
Yeah, I was, but I attended it. I think I was off for like first 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll make that change. Brent,
Okay.
you're okay as a friendly amendment? Excellent, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Members are to state any pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof before items are discussed. Are there any declarations this evening? I see none. This public meeting is to consider an amendment to the Township of Bonnechere Valley zoning bylaw 2022-042. The subject lands are part of Lot 10, Concession 8, and part of Lots 11 and 12, Concession 7, in the geographic township of Sebastopol, located on Rosine Road and Blind Lake. The purpose of the amendment is to rezone two parcels of land, one being 10.18 hectares in area, and the other being 7.94 hectares in area, to permit the creation of two residential lots. The effect of this amendment is to rezone the first parcel from rural to limited service residential exception 13 to permit a residential waterfront lot with a minimum lot frontage of 20 meters. The second parcel is proposed to be rezoned from rural to rural exemption 25 to permit a residential lot with public road frontage and private road access. All other provisions of the zoning bylaw shall apply. The public meeting is a requirement of the Planning Act. In accordance with the Planning Act, notice must be given at least 20 days before the public meeting is held. Would the clerk please report on the circulation of notice?
Sure. On February 8th, 2023, the notice was circulated to all the property owners within 120 meters of the subject property. It was mailed to the agencies as required under the Planning Act. The notice was published in the Eganville Leader and it appeared in the February 8th, 2023 edition. And the notice was posted on the township's website.
Thank you. The 20-day notice now having been given, I now declare this meeting properly constituted to transact its business. Would the clerk please report on any written comments received?
There was not any.
Thank you. Do any members of the public wish to speak to the amendment? Annette, at this time, I'll just ask, do you have anybody on Zoom?
We don't have anybody else on Zoom other than yourself, Tracy, and Brent.
Wonderful, thank you. Does the owner or agent for the property wish to speak to the amendment? And I see Mr. Raditz is there.
Jennifer, no, it's Doug Schultz. I'm the agent.
Oh, hi, Doug. Sorry.
Hey, how are you?
You're like this big on my screen.
Lost a lot of weight. But anyways, no, at this time, it's a development that Mr. Raditz is doing. I'm acting as his agent, and it's to further, we're going to do a little bit more further development later, but it's two buildings that had to be completed for us to go ahead with the development.
Thank you, Dougie. Are there any comments or questions from members of council? I see none. This therefore completes the public meeting process. Council will give careful consideration to the arguments for and against for this amendment requested for this property. The bylaw will be brought forward to the March 21st, 2023 meeting of council for consideration of passing. Should this bylaw be passed, a notice of passing will then be circulated as required under the Planning Act, and there would be an appeal period after the notice of passing was sent out of 20 days. Any person wishing to receive written notice of the adoption of the amendment being considered at this meeting must leave their name and mailing address with the township clerk in writing or using the chat function if attending by Zoom conferencing, as required by section 34, 14.5 of the Planning Act, council is required to inform the public of who is entitled to appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal under sections 3411 and 19. Under section 3411, if council decides to refuse an application or refuses or neglects to make a decision on an application within 120 days of the municipal clerk receiving the application, the applicant or the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing may appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal by filing an appeal with the clerk of the municipality. Section 3419, not later than 20 days after the giving of notice of passing of the bylaw, the applicant, any person or public body who made oral submissions at the public meeting or made a written submission to council before the bylaw was passed, or the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing may appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal by filing an appeal with the clerk of the municipality. I now declare this public meeting closed at 5:31 p.m. Thank you. Nice to see you, Doug. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Annette, do we have to log off and log back in?
Yes, please.